All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and we got some new Glaive gameplay to watch and review here.
We did a bunch of work early on looking at various different types of weapons we could add to the sandbox. It's hard to find a new role that fits into that without breaking anything, but we throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks. And we found that the glaive was sticky.
Yes, it was. It is a projectile weapon, and it is a shield, and it's a melee weapon all at the same time.
You can just destroy stuff. That's really satisfying.
Yeah, it's a whole cocktail of absurdity.
Ignore the, I think it's Japanese there.
Adding
It's on like the
anything
Japanese
new
YouTube
to
channel.
a sandbox, it's never not going to be difficult.
It's kind of amazing to think how many development hours went into this. A designer dedicated just to the Glaive for almost a year, like 6 months animator time, a ton of engineering support.
And it's so different than we thought it was going to be from the outset.
Yeah. The amount of iteration that went into this resulted in something I think is really special.
When we first started running playtests with it,
Interesting.
they were way too strong. And that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have.
You need to know how it's going to break things in addition to how it's working.
Hopefully not for
and one of the
PvP.
best ways to do that is to send a whole bunch of people into a big map and go, hey, try and kill each other in the most ridiculous, absurd ways you possibly can.
Like, look at this.
You're not really playtesting if nobody is being an insufferable little trash goblin.
It's my kind of playstyle. I like
It's
it.
not what I, it is a full trash
It's
goblin
a
in
thing that I feel like
PvP.
doesn't get talked about enough. The importance of breaking whatever it is you're working on in order to make sure that it's functional and that we can ship it in a healthy way.
It's very fun. I like meleeing that fast.
We had a bunch of folks playing through using the glaive and listening to them come out of that playtest and be like, wow, I felt like a badass. We knew that we were going in the right direction at that point.
Up to this point, our primary melee-focused weapon archetype has been swords. We pull the camera out in third person because a lot of time, you know, you're taking these really big swings that are going to hit things that would be outside your field of view if you were in first person. The glaive is a much more focused, much more directed thing. I mean, it's a polearm. You're holding it. It is very clearly pointing in a direction. So we wanted to keep
Something
that
on his,
experience
a new
in
glaive on his
first
back.
person. It has an immediacy that I think would have been lost if we were exclusively in third person.
We had an idea of what we wanted it to be, and we knew we could get there. And after a year, seeing it, it's like, oh, of course we made that. That's what we're aiming at the whole time, right? But it's not. It's something completely new and completely unique.
One of the things that I think is so exciting about the Glaive is it's the kind of weapon you can only find in a Bungie game. It doesn't exist outside of the
That is
Destiny
kind of cool.
universe.
It's kind of unique.
It's this thing that someone said, okay, we love the high fantasy influences and we love sci-fi. Let's mold those two things together in this thing that's like part lance, part fusion rifle, part shield. And it comes together to create this experience that you can only find in Destiny.
This thing is awesome. A sword, a gun, and a shield all at once. It's just something we're really excited for. I can't wait for players to get their hands on the Glaive.
Very interesting. So let's go ahead and dissect and analyze some of this. The first thing I would bring up and talk about is that the Bungie dev actually references how they're coming up with unique archetypes and how it's almost like a difficulty. I feel like, how do you come up with something new in the game Destiny where you have submachine guns of various different RPMs, hand cannons, sidearms? I mean, we've even started to see over time now weapons that have archetypes that really don't even make that much sense. Like the Crimson is a hand cannon, but it really just fires like a pulse rifle. I mean, there's several examples of this, and we have so many pulse rifles now, ones that fire, 2 bullets, 3 bullets, 5 bullets, right? 4. There's so many different archetypes of every different weapon. I feel like Bungie is sort of stretching their boundaries of what they can come up with and create with these glaives. And I think this is a pretty interesting idea. And the other thing he did mention that said it was a fusion rifle combined with those other elements. So I think that when you're firing it, it's probably like a charge up time, which sounds pretty interesting. Instead of, it's not just like an instant fire, it's like a charge up. So it'll probably have really powerful effects in PvP, I imagine. They even mentioned that they first tuned this for the sandbox and it was way too strong. So that's a bit scary. Hopefully they don't allow it to go out extremely strong. I mean, I guess they said that that's a good thing. They literally said that's a good thing. It's way too strong. and then they brought it down and stuff. And so we'll see what happens with time. We'll see how strong it is. I feel like at least at the start, this glaive is going to be actually nuts in both PvP and PvE, but we'll see. I did like the joke where he was talking about an insufferable trash goblin. That made me laugh quite a bit. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention, we actually see a little hint of a glaive that I don't think we've seen yet, which is on this Titan's back here. So he's shooting a projectile here with this, but he's got another one on his back. I do not think we've seen that one before. It's got a very unique design. Obviously, there's nothing more we can really dissect other than that. Just seeing some new glaive action out there. But that's a wrap on this trailer. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. See you in the next one. Later.